Altcoin season. Is it over or has it not even begun yet? Some of you are newer to the world of cryptocurrency and may not even remember what a true altcoin season is. You may think we just experienced it. I mean, listen, what we saw over the last 3 months was nothing. We saw some 10x pumps and some baby pumps, but that's nothing compared to true altcoin season. Today, I'm going to be discussing altcoin season and how you can position yourself best to bag a big one. Let's get it. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Every day I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like money, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the bell so you don't get a case of the BitBoy FOMO. Also, guys, don't forget we're doing a big giveaway on Rarible for 10 ETH. So anyone who wants to buy our remaining cards can do so by visiting the BitBoy Collectible store. I'll make sure to drop the link to my Rarible store down in the description. Now, in this video, we're going to be discussing altcoin season, what it is and where you should be putting your money and when. But more importantly, when you should be prepared to exit the markets. So what is altcoin exactly? Well, according to an article I found on bitcoin.com, altcoin season is a period of time in which altcoins outperform Bitcoin. And I would also add the word significantly, because we're looking for big moves. Now, lately what we've seen is when Bitcoin stabilizes, altcoins move. But during a true altcoin season, this is not necessarily what we see. 2017 was super volatile all throughout the end of the year, but altcoins pumped, and they pumped real hard. You have to understand, in the bear market, one day seems like an eternity. But in a bull market, a true parabolic bull market, time flies by. More market action happens in 1 hour than we've seen happen in weeks during the bear market. What we want to see for altcoin season, though, is Bitcoin to rise and rest, and then do it again. Every time Bitcoin takes a breather, alts will move. But the next few months could see altcoins stall while Bitcoin gears up for its first big leg up. Altcoins will certainly rise, but Bitcoin could go up 50% in the next 2 months, and altcoins would likely not go up that high. It's a process, and this is the time when investors must be patient. We love altcoins on this channel. I've even been called an altcoin maximalist. We never wavered in our love and interest in altcoins, even during the most intense part of the bear winter. That is something that many channels and influencers simply cannot say. But we never went the route of becoming a BTC maxi, thank God. But I'm here to tell you now, Bitcoin is about to move to center stage for a period of time. If there were ever a time to go long on Bitcoin instead of investing in highly speculative alts, now would be that time. Now, if you want to try Bybit, you can sign up and get a $300 bonus by following the directions on the screen. But if you're going to leverage trade, make sure to be careful at all times and use stop losses. Just be smart. Don't get wrecked. But I'm right now getting a lot more into trading again at the moment. Why? I'm preparing for Bitcoin's big move. But what does this move mean for altcoins, and when the heck will altcoin season come around? Well, to get that answer, we must go to the past. So come, hop into the DeLorean.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
These two charts right here represent the Bitcoin and altcoin markets. When you look at these two charts together on the screen at once, it really tells the tale of altcoins. Look at the parabolic movement of Bitcoin in 2017. As you look at the price action, you will see that while the green candles were a flurry, they were making pretty consistent legs up each week. When you look at the same time frame and period for altcoins, you notice the rise was much more dramatic. And when altcoins started pumping, there was literally no red weekly candles for an insane 12 weeks in a row. That actually blew my mind seeing this. But while the beginning of the green candles started slowly, when altcoin season hit, the size of those movements was absolutely crazy. If you missed the first leg up, you missed a lot of gains. But it's still nuts that there literally was not an altcoin pullback for a full 3 months. But let's dig a little bit deeper here to try and judge where we are now and what is coming next. This is the composite altcoin market chart from April 2017 to the middle of October 2017. You can see we were clearly on an uptrend, a solid one, but there were a few pullbacks, even 2 large dump candles right in a row. And you have to remember, at this time, Bitcoin had not hit all-time highs. So the fact is, while these movements don't look huge, at the time, these are some of the biggest candles Bitcoin had ever seen, and altcoins as well. But look at the pattern. an uptrend with a lot of pullbacks, but clearly on the way up. Now look at this chart. This was the movement we got immediately following that pattern. This was when altcoins mooned. So we see what occurred last time. Now, people are quick to say that we just experienced altcoin season and we're heading back down. Well, let's check out the chart and compare this bull market to the last one for altcoins. So here's the current weekly chart of altcoins from April to now. It looks eerily similar to the chart leading up to the breakout of the altcoin market in 2017. Obviously an uptrend, but a lot of pullbacks, including a very large one. This, to me, lines up with exactly where we are right now. Now, I've said this many times. I see intense similarities between this market cycle and the last one. It's not a coincidence. And if this holds true, we would see the price of altcoins rise gradually over the next couple of months before shooting up fast and furiously at the beginning of next year. But the one thing to think about is that this Bitcoin cycle is scheduled to be slightly longer than the last one. Now, we know this because we've looked into it. It all has to do with how many weeks are between the low point of the market to the halving and how long the halving to the top of the market is as well. Now, we discussed in a video last week about just how symmetrical the Bitcoin market cycles are. This leads us to a date, as you guys know if you've been watching this channel, of September 28th, 2021 is the peak of the market, or also known as the start of the bear market. But the thing is that the Bitcoin cycles and altcoin cycles are off a little. Bitcoin peaked during the week of December 11th to December 17th in 2017. On December 17th exactly, the Bitcoin price peaked at a sliver under $20,000. Over the next few days, it would fall sharply all the way under 15K. But altcoins would continue to go up. And this is where the separation of two charts becomes very important. There is correlation between Bitcoin and altcoins, but there are some differences as well. And over time, will the differences between the two charts grow to be a much larger divide? And one day, will they actually be completely separate? Decentralized finance, of course, could be the beginning of what I've called the uncoupling or the decoupling, where cryptocurrency assets can stand on their own and are not tied to the waves or halving charts of Bitcoin. But the point is, the altcoin market actually peaked on January 8th, 2018, a full 3 weeks after Bitcoin peaked. So this means that while we've established a date of September 28th, 2021 for the beginning of the Bitcoin bear market, altcoins could continue to run. And since this cycle will be longer than the last by probably a month or so, we can see altcoins continue to rise for a month or more after Bitcoin peaks. While kids should be out trick-or-treating in 2021, unless the pandemic is still going on and you haven't been forced to take a vaccine, by Halloween next year, you should be ready to exit the altcoin market because it'll be getting very scary in November of next year. Although we know altcoins should be ultimately slower to react than Bitcoin, the movements are much more dramatic and intense. Kind of like that kid in class when you were in high school who hardly ever said anything, never showed any emotion. You just knew he was bottling everything up, and then one day you found out he murdered someone and ate them. That's a true story. But that's altcoins for you. Am I right? So I would use that buffer wisely to exit the markets before they drop, not after. We did that before, and I can tell you that isn't what you want to do. Of course, no one knows the future except for Miss Cleo, and I think she's dead probably.
You gotta stop accepting the booty calls at 2 a.m. in the morning. You understand?
So unless you can call her from the grave for your free reading, then you should be making calculated plays in the market and not letting euphoria overrule reality and what you know. But I can tell you honestly, that will probably happen to most of you. Many of you will become millionaires and then lose it all, unless you trust what I'm telling you as a non-financial advisor, or you've been through this before. You will know. You don't want to gain the world just to lose your soul. And by your soul, I mean your money, you greedy smucks. But let me know down in the comments what you are planning to do next year. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.